How to fix The Last of Us Part 1 freezing, white screen, and crashing on Intel Arc A770. Welcome back to Teknobalta. Today, we delve into a critical issue plaguing many Intel Arc A770 users attempting to navigate the post-apocalyptic world of The Last of Us Part 1, persistent freezing, abrupt white screens, and game-breaking crashes. This demanding title, renowned for its graphical fidelity, can push even robust systems to their limits, and the newer Intel Arc architecture sometimes introduces unique stability challenges, often manifested by symptoms like sudden game exits and even graphics driver settings reverting unexpectedly. Addressing these issues requires a systematic approach, from meticulous driver management to optimizing game and system configurations, ensuring your powerful Intel Arc A770 delivers the immersive experience it was designed for. We'll explore deep technical solutions to stabilize your gameplay and resolve these frustrating interruptions, helping you finally complete your journey through this acclaimed narrative. Here's how to tackle The Last of Us Part 1 freezing, white screen, and crashing on your Intel Arc A770 system. Clean install Intel Arc graphics drivers with DDU. The primary suspect for stability issues on Intel Arc is often the graphics driver. A clean installation using Display Driver Uninstaller, DDU, is crucial for removing any remnants of previous installations or corrupt files. This ensures a pristine driver environment, preventing conflicts that could lead to crashes, freezes, or the observed color setting resets. Download DDU, boot into Windows Safe Mode, and completely wipe all Intel graphics drivers before installing the latest recommended version directly from the official Intel support website. This meticulous process significantly reduces the likelihood of driver-related instability, which is a common trigger for the white screen and subsequent game crashes. Update Intel Arc graphics drivers to the latest version. Always ensure your Intel Arc A770 drivers are updated to the very latest stable release, as Intel frequently pushes optimizations and bug fixes for newer titles like The Last of Us Part 1. These updates often contain crucial performance enhancements and stability improvements, specifically targeting demanding games and known architectural quirks. Utilizing the Intel Driver and Support Assistant is the most reliable method to automatically detect and install the most current drivers. Rollback to a previously stable Intel Arc driver. If the latest drivers are causing new issues, consider rolling back to an older, proven stable driver version that worked correctly for you previously or is widely recommended by the community for The Last of Us Part 1. Newer drivers aren't always immediately optimized for every game, and a slightly older version might offer better stability. Use DDU again for a clean rollback, then install the specific older driver package. Verify integrity of game files, Steam/Epic Games. Corrupted or missing game files can lead to various runtime errors, including freezing and crashing. Both Steam and Epic Games Store offer a built-in feature to verify the integrity of game files, which checks for and repairs any discrepancies. This process compares your local game files with the versions on the distribution server, downloading and replacing any damaged data. Adjust in-game graphics settings. The Last of Us Part 1 is graphically intensive. High settings can overstress your GPU, leading to crashes. Begin by lowering demanding settings such as texture quality, shadow quality, and anti-aliasing to a medium or high preset. Experiment with individual settings to find a balance between visual fidelity and stability, prioritizing smooth performance over ultra-high graphics. Disable full-screen optimizations. Fullscreen optimizations, a Windows feature designed to improve game performance, can sometimes conflict with specific titles or hardware configurations, leading to instability. Locate the game's executable file, e.g., TLOU, Win64, shipping.exe, right-click, select Properties, then navigate to the Compatibility tab. Update Windows operating system. Ensure your Windows 10 or 11 operating system is fully updated, as critical system updates often include stability fixes, DirectX runtime updates, and general performance improvements. Outdated system files can introduce compatibility issues with newer games and hardware drivers, contributing to crashes and other erratic behavior. Regularly check for and install all available cumulative and optional updates. Install/update DirectX runtime. The Last of Us Part 1 relies heavily on DirectX for rendering graphics, and an outdated or corrupted DirectX installation can lead to immediate crashes or graphical anomalies. Download and run the DirectX End-User Runtime Web Installer from Microsoft's official website. This tool will automatically detect and install any missing or updated DirectX components, ensuring full compatibility with the game. Install/update Visual C++ Redistributables. Many games, including The Last of Us Part 1, depend on Microsoft Visual C++ Redistributables for various runtime functions. Missing or outdated versions of these packages can cause the game to fail to launch or crash unexpectedly. Download and install the latest supported Visual C++ Redistributables for Visual Studio directly from the Microsoft documentation site, ensuring both x64 and x86 versions are present. Monitor CPU and GPU temperatures. Overheating components, particularly the Intel Arc A770 and your Ryzen 5 5600X, can cause system instability, throttling, and abrupt crashes as a protective measure. Use monitoring software like HW Monitor or MSI Afterburner to keep an eye on your CPU and GPU temperatures during gameplay. If temperatures consistently exceed 85-90°C, improve your system's airflow or consider repasting thermal compound. Disable overlays and background applications. Third-party overlays, e.g., Discord overlay, Xbox Game Bar, GeForce Experience if installed accidentally, or other monitoring software, and unnecessary background applications can consume system resources and interfere with game processes. Temporarily disable all non-essential applications and overlays to minimize potential conflicts and free up CPU/GPU cycles for the game. Adjust Windows Power Plan to high performance. Ensure your Windows Power Plan is set to high performance to guarantee that your CPU and GPU receive consistent power and operate at their maximum intended frequencies. The balanced or power saver plans can sometimes throttle hardware performance, leading to stutters or insufficient resources for demanding games, potentially inducing crashes. Disable any overclocking. If you have overclocked your CPU, Ryzen 5 5600X, GPU, Intel Arc A770, or RAM, revert all settings to their default factory configurations. Overclocking, while enhancing performance, can introduce instability, especially in demanding games that push hardware to its absolute limits. Test the game with stock speeds to rule out overclocking as a cause for crashes. Increase virtual memory, paging file size. Insufficient virtual memory can lead to out-of-memory errors and crashes, particularly in games with large asset loads. Manually increase your system's paging file size to a recommended minimum of 1.5 times your physical RAM and a maximum of 3 times. This provides a buffer for the system to manage memory more effectively, preventing resource-related failures. Run game as administrator. Running The Last of Us Part 1 with administrator privileges can resolve certain access permission issues that might prevent the game from writing necessary files or utilizing system resources optimally. Locate the game's executable, right-click, select Properties, go to the Compatibility tab, and check Run this program as an administrator. Check for sufficient disk space and use SSD. Ensure The Last of Us Part 1 is installed on an SSD, solid-state drive, for optimal loading times and performance. Additionally, verify that the drive has ample free space, typically at least 15 to 20% of its total capacity. Running out of disk space, especially on the primary OS drive, can severely impact system performance and cause games to crash. Temporarily disable antivirus/firewall. Occasionally, overly aggressive antivirus software or Windows Firewall can mistakenly flag game files or processes as threats, interfering with their execution and causing crashes. Temporarily disable your antivirus or add The Last of Us Part 1 to its exception list. Remember to re-enable security software after testing. By systematically working through these deep technical solutions, focusing particularly on optimal Intel Arc driver management and comprehensive system optimization, you should be able to resolve the freezing, white screen, and crashing issues in The Last of Us Part 1. Persistence and careful troubleshooting are key to achieving stable gameplay on even the most cutting-edge hardware. Don't forget to follow Teknobalta for more in-depth technical guides and solutions.